Today's episode, we're going to be talking about Shanquella Robinson. And on October 28th, her and her friends went on vacation to Cabo, Mexico. Within 24 hours, she was dead. Her friends had reported to her parents that she died of alcohol poisoning.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. They couldn't get a pulse.
But after an autopsy report, it said she had a broken neck and a severed spine. This prompted one of the friends to actually go on Instagram and basically claim his innocence.
All this stuff happened on Friday. I don't know nothing of it, don't know nothing about it, don't know why it happened. Boom.
The crazy thing about this is that it was reported as an accidental death and not a homicide. It wasn't until video surfaced on the interweb of a fight that broke out between Shanquella and Daejhanae.
To get naked. It don't take that long to get naked, so where y'all at?
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
No.
It's a matter of opinion. If I'm right, but I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on our part.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Matter of Opinion. I'm your boy Walls P.
I'm your girl Erica.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Shanquella Robinson. For those who don't know who Shanquella Robinson is, she's a 25-year-old from North Carolina who's also a business owner. And on October 28th, her and her friends went on vacation to Cabo, Mexico. Now, once they went on that vacation, within 24 hours, she was dead. Now, initially, her friends had reported to her parents that she died of alcohol poisoning. But after an autopsy report, it says she had a broken neck and a severed spine. Now, the crazy thing about this story is that the initial report of her dying of alcohol poisoning was reported by the friends. This is what they told the mother. And this prompted one of the friends to actually go on Instagram and basically claim his innocence. Here's that clip.
A layover in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas at 10. So, what it was 6 to 9. Anyway, I got on my flight to Cabo at 11 o'clock. As y'all seen in the post before this, it take 3 hours to get to Cabo. Meanwhile, all this stuff happened on Friday. I don't know nothing of it, don't know nothing about it, don't know why it happened. Boom. So, I'm thinking I'm gonna turn up. My birthday was the last week, October 22nd. Y'all can see that because I've been on my page. So I'm like, let me extend my birthday and I'm gonna go to this trip. Cause I got asked to go on the trip in June, but I didn't reply because I didn't know what I was doing for my birthday, since the next birthday was the next week after mine. So, where I was at? Oh, yes, I left on Saturday. The trip was from Friday to Monday, October 28th, 29th, 30th. 31st going home. Didn't even make it there. So I get off my flight around like 2:16 Mexico time. I guess we 2 hours ahead. 2:16 p.m. I make a phone call. To everybody who were there. Like, I need the address. So during this phone call, that's the first time I heard that Quilla wasn't feeling good. They told me that Quilla was sick and she was showing signs of alcohol poisoning. And they got that because one of their friends told them that they were seeing signs. So she was showing symptoms of alcohol poisoning. But I didn't know it was a fight. Hold on. I got my Bible. Yeah, I'm gonna put this blunt down because I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie on that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not saving nobody's ass. I'm not protecting my ass. I'm just coming here to keep it real because y'all in my DMs going crazy and all this, posting my address and stuff like that. Whatever y'all want, but it's not gonna be pretty. But when I got there, it took us an hour. My taxi driver, it took us an hour to get to the villa because there was traffic. I don't know why. So I got to the villa around 3:26. I instantly, as soon as I go in there, I go to Quilla. Quilla didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came. She was not feeling good, so I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag, and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart and hope that I was there the whole time in the game room, and then they was talking about cooking, so we made it to the living room. I cut on some soft music, sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling, waiting till the nurse came, because that's what I was informed that was happening. At first, I was told that it was a male coming, and then a female showed up. So By that time, I skipped another thing. Quilla wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quilla was not dead when I got there. Yeah, boom. So it's like, okay, so when I get in there, goddamn, have fun. I didn't have not 1 second of fun. I didn't take one shot, didn't smoke one blunt, didn't do anything. I went straight to Quilla. She was not found dead. She was found unresponsive. Yes, unresponsive. She was unresponsive. I tried to get her to talk to me and all that, but it was none of that. There was none of that going on. Oh shit. Yeah, but other than that, I did. Oh yeah, I know y'all probably asking that. When I walked in there, I didn't really notice the knot on her head until the nurse pointed it out. I did see the bump on her lip. She did have a blood vessel bust in her eye, and that's it. But I didn't really go in there like, damn, y'all jumped her, y'all beat her ass, what's going on? Like, 'cause they know, man, and nobody even told me about nothing. I was blind to everything. I'm literally in there giving her my all. Like, come on, girl, we is 2,000 miles away from home.
Now, the 5 friends that she went on vacation with were Khalil Cook, Malik Dwyer, Winter Donovan, Elise Hyatt, Daejhanae Jackson, and Nazir Wiggins. Now, out of all those friends, Khalil Cook was her best friend. The crazy thing about this is that it was reported as an accidental death and not a homicide. It wasn't until video surfaced on the interweb of a fight that broke out between Shanquella and Daejhanae.
Get naked. It don't take that long to get naked, hoes. Where y'all at? She told me I'm gonna keep it hot. You gonna keep it hot? What?
I'm gonna keep my hot bathing suits that I don't want to wear because it's cute as fuck.
What Go said, they croup.
The one that's like mediocre is in my chains. I can't wear them. Okay.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
No. Why she not fighting back?
At least something. At least fight back, something.
Get up, bro. Get up. I'm tired of shit.
Now, in the video, you could clearly see that Shanquella was intoxicated, and you could tell that the other girl was intoxicated slightly, but not as intoxicated as Shanquella was. And in that video, while they're fighting, you could hear one of the bystanders sitting there asking her, hey, Shanquella, aren't you going to defend yourself or aren't you going to fight back? And she clearly says no in the video, which means that she wasn't interested in fighting to begin with.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
No.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
No.
Now, if you want to see that unedited video, we got it posted on our locals. The link is in the description. With that being said, let's hear exactly what the mother had to say about this situation.
Alicia, this happened about 2 weeks ago. Shanquella Robinson went to Mexico with her friends. She arrived early on Friday the 28th, and her family says the next morning she was dead.
It was supposed to be a fun, long weekend for 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson and her group of friends who went to Cabo to celebrate one of their birthdays.
She told me they had a chef. They was getting ready to eat. They was eating tacos, something, salad or something they was eating. And I said, well, okay, I love you. Have a good night, and I will talk to you tomorrow. And I never talked to my child again, and she never made it back home.
Robinson's mom, Salamandra, says within 24 hours of her daughter's arrival, she was dead. Figuring out how or why has only added to the family's nightmare. It started with a frantic call from Robinson's friends.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning. They couldn't get a pulse. Each one of the people that was there with her was telling different stories.
It's when the family made calls to the FBI and Mexican authorities that they learned of another potential cause of death.
And the autopsy came back. They said it didn't have anything to do with alcohol. Said that she had been, she had a broken neck and her spine in the back was cracked. She had been beaten.
Salamandra says the entire group came back from Mexico, leaving her daughter's body there. Nearly 2 weeks and $6,000 later, her body is back home. But but answers have been hard to come by.
I know that's not going to bring my child back, but I want something done about it.
Queen City News has spoken with officials at the U.S. State Department in Mexico who refute the claim that Robinson was murdered, saying the police's initial indication is that there was no clear evidence of foul play. Here in Charlotte, her family refuses to believe their daughter's death was an accident, and they vow to find the truth of what happened that night in Cabo.
She had a heart of gold. She loved everybody, and pretty much everybody loved her.
An official with the State Department told us they're helping the family obtain reports from authorities and recommend the family hires a private investigator and an attorney if they question the circumstances surrounding Shanquella's death.
So, given with the information we know, what is your take on this matter?
It's going to be one of two things. Either her friend set her up, is the logic that I'm going with, because you don't just go on vacation with a group of people and don't all come back. Or the other reason is something happened. There was an argument. There was, maybe some money misplaced. Maybe, because all I could do is speculate at this point. So I feel like there had to have been an argument. Maybe, maybe over money, maybe over a person, maybe over things that they were going to do there. And then it just spiraled, because I don't feel like you're going to go just from, hey, I'm going on vacation with my friends, to my friend is clearly beating me up in this video. Like, I feel like there has to be other motives for this fight to have transpired. You're not just going to fly me. I'm not just going to fly out someplace and fight. If we was going to fight, you could have just fought me when we was home. Like, that's why I feel like there has to be another underlying situation to this story. Um, it's just disheartening because you don't know, and with no one really coming out and saying anything, you may not ever have any answers to why a group of friends go on vacation, a fight breaks out, and a person ends up losing their life.
See, the problem I have though is the best friend actually stood around and did nothing while this fight was taking place. And on top of that, nobody actually did anything. I can remember back in the days when it came to fighting, if you see somebody actually besting the other person and the person that's losing seems like they're done fighting, people's going to intervene and be like, yo, that's enough. The fight's over. These are your quote unquote friends that are there witnessing this fight. The minute that the one friend asks her, is she going to fight or defend herself, and she said no, that should have been it right there. That should have told you to intervene, jump in, and call it a day. And the fact that they all gave conflicting stories, because once, like, by the time they called the mother and said their story about alcohol poisoning and everything like that, the cops already were notified that this woman wasn't breathing, and they took the body and everything like that. So now at this point, they're trying to scramble to find excuses to give to the mother.
On one of the reports, it said that the maid found the body. So your friends they let you get beat up, you become unconscious, and they don't even call for help? That could have changed the dynamic of the story. Because think about it. If you got hit in the wrong spot, if somebody would have intervened early enough and called the ambulance early enough, she could have still been breathing. She could have went into surgery. They could have tried other measures instead of going to an unconscious body. If the friends would have called the paramedics instead of just leaving her there, this might have been a whole different story.
But here's the thing, though. The friend still called the parent and said, 24, like that morning, because she said that morning they called and said, oh, she's just out because of alcohol poisoning or whatever the case may
Correct.
be.
But
Now we don't know. We don't know what truth might be in that, because that was that morning. You get what I'm saying? So she could
yes,
have been
but think about it though.
incapacitated.
They knew, she talks to her mom pretty often. She had already said, you already talked to them the night that they were about to eat dinner. So obviously she was like, hey mom, you know what? I'll check in with you tomorrow. So everybody could have heard that conversation. Or the best friend who's been her best friend for years would have known, hey, she's still going to check in with her mother. So instead of her mother calling, wondering what's going on, let me just go ahead and check in for her.
The bottom line is the friends basically who sat there and watched this fight take place did her a disservice. And even if she didn't die from that fight, the last video or last picture that everybody sees is this woman that's drunk is being beat up by another woman and nobody said nothing, nobody intervened, and then they lied about what happened. And the other thing that's crazy too is they they actually let the friends leave the country. And the sad part about it is that since this happened outside of the US really don't have no like jurisdiction to try and, put charges on these five friends in the US. That's something that has to be done over in Mexico. That's the sad part about it all.
Yes. Now the kicker is if the Mexican authority does um, come up with some kind of charges, the U.S. can extradite the people back.
Oh yes, definitely.
So
Like,
if they do their due diligence and they bring up a case and they find that there was foul play, yes, I do. I feel that U.S. is not going to do anything. No, I feel like because it's a news story that's going around, you talking the mother's being, she's voicing her opinions, she's reaching out to the different media outlets, they have hashtags with her name on it at this point. So she's trying to make sure that everybody is in the know. You're talking, the interweb figured out the friends real fast. Think about it.
mhm.
There, every report you start looking at, you got the list of friends who went with her.
And my thing
So
is, like, is it warranted? I believe so because you shouldn't have lied about it. I think that's what
it's
everybody is mad about is the fact that y'all lied about the details of what happened and the fact that the fight broke out and nobody intervened where this woman was clearly drunk. Because it's being reported they're getting death threats and all this other stuff. So it's like, okay, the death threats might be too far, but can you understand the vitriol that they're receiving from people?
I get it. My thing is, you went as a friend group and you left without one of your members of your friend group.
Hmm.
That is a problem. I feel like y'all fought, things happened. If you would have called the authorities yourself, it could have been ruled an accident. But because you waited
Hmm.
and you left the country, so I felt like everybody was in cahoots together.
Yep.
You all said, "Yo, we just gonna leave her here. Let's go hop this flight and let's go hop on this flight and leave."
Put it like
My
this.
thing
Oh, go
is,
ahead.
when you do that kind of stuff, there's no coming back from that
My th-
because you're all accessories.
my thing is the actions that you guys did instead of calling it in. Now it seems like two things that y'all planned this or y'all were all in collusion when things went in left field. This is what we're going to do. That may not have been the plan, but your actions afterwards and the lying is going to make people speculate these things. So it's going to be interesting to see how this story unfolds. My condolences to the family. I'm sorry for your loss because nobody, no parent wants to experience losing their child before they go. You always want to go before your child. So for a parent to go through this, my condolences. And I hope that you get that closure and this story is uncovered and solved swift, fast, and hurry. With that being said, let us know what you guys think in the comments section for this sad story. One thing I want to say too is be careful with your friends. Be careful who you trust because as you see in a blink of an eye, things can go south quick. So I wholeheartedly believe how they say keep your enemies close and your friends closer because you never know who got that knife. You never know who will stab you in the back. And it's usually your friends or family members that are ones that'll stab you in the back in a heartbeat. So just be careful with the friends that you keep and be wary because you never know. Tomorrow's never promised. So if there's one thing to learn from this unfortunate event, I would say just be wary of your friends. With that being said, let us know what you guys think in the comment section. We would love to hear your take on the matter. Um, do you believe that the friends are responsible for this woman's death? Let us know what you think. If this is your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button and definitely click that notification bell. And don't forget to follow us on our other social media platforms. The links are in the description. Like, share, comment on the video. And with that said, I'm your boy Walls P.
I'm your girl Erica.
And we will catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
It's a matter of opinion.